Hey y'all, this is Anya DecoToes. Welcome back. I am so excited to be filming this video, and at the same time it's such a bittersweet video to be filming. So I will be doing my makeup in this video, these two looks, plus I'll show you some of the face lip stuff that I use. But there are two products that are really the main stars of this video, and the two products that inspired me making this video. The star number one of this video is this eyeshadow palette from Sydney Grace. It's a collaboration between Sydney Grace and Mel Thompson, and it is called the Tiny Marvels. Now, I have tried getting this eyeshadow palette twice now. It's not like a very new palette by all means, but every time I tried to purchase this, it was sold out by the time I got to it. So this time when I saw that it was getting restocked, I said I have to have this eyeshadow palette, and it has that much more meaning to me now to have this because Mel actually passed away, and it is so sad. Now, I'm not one of the people who can say, oh yes, I knew her, I've watched her from the beginning. I have watched her videos. I was subscribed, I still am subscribed. What I can say is that, first of all, it is extremely sad when anybody loses a loved one. She was a wife and a mom, and she was not much older than me, if I remember correctly. When I was buying this palette, I saw on the Sydney Grace's website that all the proceeds from these sales were going to Mel's family, which is so amazing, and I'm glad that they are getting at least the financial support through all the emotional struggles and struggles of losing a loved one. At least they don't have to worry about that to that extent. So that was amazing. I'm so incredibly happy that I finally bought this palette. It's absolutely amazing. Now, I'll show you more close-ups of this, but as you can see, there's what I call creepy crawlies. What Mel called was Tiny Marvels, apparently. But, I mean, there's even a spider on the hand, okay? I don't do spiders. I don't do bugs very well. But this palette, yes, please. Just to give you a quick preview, I have clearly used this palette quite a few times now, and it is absolutely stunning. I love it, and I can't wait to show you how I created these two looks that I have on my eyes now. But the other star of the show is this brush set, which is really hard for me to hold all at once, so bear with me here. But it is a collaboration between BK Beauty and Angie from Hot and Flashy here on YouTube, which I will have linked down below. It is a 7-piece brush set. There are 2 face brushes and 4 eye brushes. And a little spoiler alert, I absolutely love them. I love them. I actually got them on sale. It was around the Black Friday sales, I believe, so I had a little bit of a discount. I mean, these are not like cheap brushes, but I can tell you, and I was almost afraid to say it because I feel like refer brushes are so hyped and so many people say so many good things about refer brushes. I like these a lot more, personally. These are synthetic brushes. Refer brushes are not, or at least most of them are not, I believe. I'm not a refer expert, but these brushes are the bomb. I mean, I love them. And they are technically geared towards mature women with like saggy eyelids and all of that. But you know what? Me at 33 years old, I have droopy and saggy eyelids and all of that good stuff. So these brushes, because of their sizes, are so great to be able to be really precise with your eye looks. Now, before we start this makeup look, I did want to say one thing for all of you who have been wondering how my neck is. It's still hurting. It's not as intense as it was at the beginning, but obviously the steroids didn't help. I'm not even quite sure what I did mention in the previous videos and what I didn't, but I believe I did say that it is like inflammation causing nerve pain because it's pressing on the nerve in my neck. So that it's still painful. It's a little better in the morning. It gets a little worse as the day goes on. The steroids did absolutely nothing. So that's that. And I have fixed the problem on a few of my previous videos, which did not allow you to comment apparently, which I apologize because I had no idea that that was the case. I think that I clicked on the option where it is a video made for kids, because I mean, it's not like I have any type of inappropriate content on my channel, so I figured kids can watch as well. But clicking that apparently made you not be able to comment on my videos. So anyways, that issue is fixed now. I have changed it. And thanks for anyone who did watch those, even though you could not comment. Now, without further ado, let's just jump right into this makeup portion of this video, and I hope you enjoy watching. Alrighty, so to begin, I'm actually going to start with my foundation because I have a bit of a war zone going on right here on the side of my face, which I really need to cover up. So let's begin with that. I just bought this powder foundation a few days ago. Actually, it's from One Size. It's the Turn Up the Base Versatile Foundation Powder in Fair 4. And this packaging is like super cute. Although it does leave fingerprints and toe prints apparently as well. I will mention that the shade that I got originally, I used the Sephora like shade match online thing, which I matched it to the Double Wear foundation that I use, but it was totally off. My face was so dark. So these powders seem very light in the pan. This is what this shade looks like, but they go on darker than this. So like as soon as you dip your brush into it, it instantly goes a lot darker. So keep that in mind. So because I have all of that redness to cover up, I'm actually going to use like this very dense brush for this. Normally if I want light coverage, I would use a fluffy brush like this, but today we need the coverage. I'm going to start off with half of my face just to show you what kind of coverage it gives. Alright, so pretty much half of my face is done. Obviously it's this side. And you can still see a little bit of the redness going on my chin, but it's not anything significant. I mean, I think it covered it up really, really well, especially if you use a dense brush. Now, I didn't do my under eye yet because I want to use one of my new favorite brushes ever. It is the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy collaboration, and it is the A506. Now, this is what these brushes look like. And this brush right here, I mean, it's like angled, as you can see here, and it's amazing. And the handles are longer than usual. So like, for example, next to a rougher brush, this is the size difference. And I really, really appreciate and love the longer handles. They just are wonderful. This is definitely one of my favorite brushes in this set, and it just, you can just get under the eye so well. And I will link Angie's video where she talks about these brushes and how to use them and stuff. But they are just, I love these. I absolutely love these. She was saying how you can actually really go in on the side of your nose right here, and you really can. I mean, this shape of this brush is wonderful. I wish I could have another one of those. The brushes right now only sell as a set, but these are amazing. So soft. I mean, ever since I got these brushes, which I will end up showing you all of them, I pretty much only use a few brushes from other sets, but that's just because this is not like, you know, it doesn't cover everything that I need, but I wish it did because these brushes are amazing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other side of my face and I'll be right back. All right, so I added some Hoola bronzer from Benefit, and now we're going to go into the blush. So I recently picked up this blush from Milani. It's the Luminoso shade, and I'll show you on the inside. This is what that shade looks like. I just wanted something neutral for this look because both of my eyes will look different. So let's not go too crazy. And for this, I'm going to use another one of Angie's Hot and Flashy brushes. It is her blush brush. It's angled. It's the A507. And this is the shape of this one. I love this shape, really do. And the top of it is not entirely flat. It's kind of round, which just makes blending anything a lot easier. So I'm going to stamp it over here and then turn around and diffuse it a little bit, because that is how it's recommended to be used. So I've been trying it out and really loving this method. So because this is a slightly luminous blush, I'm not going to go in with any highlighter. What I will do next is I will do my eyebrows first and then my lips. So for the eyebrows, I'll be using this NYX. It's called the Micro Brow Pencil in Taupe. It has a spoolie on one end and then the pencil on the other end. And I'm not going to bore you with this step, so I'll be right back. Alright, my eyebrows are on, and I have also lined my lips with this Dominique Cosmetics lip pencil in the shade Crush. So I don't wear lipstick very often, actually, but I have bought two recently. It is the Makeup by Mario lipstick, and this one is in the shade Brielle. How beautiful is this? It's got the by Mario embedded in there, and this shade is so stunning. I love it. It is like this slightly rosy, mauvey shade. So good, so good. And also for the lips, I bought a lip gloss. It is from Tower 28 and it's in the shade Cashew. And this thing just feels so good on the lips, so good. And quite frankly, the name Cashew makes it that much more appealing to me personally. But I'll put some of that on. Just a little. I love it. And now we are going to get to the star of the show. And before I do that, I'm going to show you the close-ups and swatches and all of that. So here you go, take a look at that before we get started. Isn't this palette just so beautiful? So my eyes are primed and they are set already. By the way, my face was primed too. Now the brush I usually use to set my primer, my eye primer, is the BK Beauty A501, which is like a packing brush, I guess. But it's really good and really soft, and man, these brushes are just so good. This A503 brush is the one brush that I have not used yet. It is a fluffy brush, and I mean it's like a blending brush. These brushes though do such an amazing job at blending things out that I don't feel like I need to even go in with a clean brush to blend things out. I'll show you the other two that I do use in every single look that I do these days, and I love these brushes so much. Of course, my bear is here with me, so I'll be using this to clean off my brushes between the colors. And this A502 brush is what I always use to start my shades in the crease, and it is just the perfect shape and size of this brush. I just love this brush. Love this brush. And let me tell you, ever since I started using these brushes, I feel like my eye looks come out so much more precise. So I took the shade Flutterby, and I'm going to use it in the crease. I'm kind of winging these looks. I mean, I have created quite a few looks with this palette already, so I kind of know what I want to do, but you know, we'll see what happens. Could this be any easier? I mean, seriously. First of all, the quality of these shadows is absolutely amazing. I never used a Sydney Grace formula before. This is my first time, or first palette, and I am just so impressed. So impressed. Next up, I'm going to use the A504 brush, and let me just show you in comparison to the previous brush. This is the size difference. I mean, it is significantly smaller. That thing is tiny, and I absolutely love it, especially for deepening up the outer corner, maybe even deepening up the crease slightly without having the color go all over your eye. So this is going to be sort of a halo eye, I guess. I have the shade Death Moth. That shade name is really hard for me to say, but I'm going to actually start and put this on the inner part of the eyelid. And doing a halo eye and really getting in there is another great application for this brush. I mean, I can't get over this brush. These two brushes are also ones that I wish I had another one of those. Who knows? I mean, I might just end up buying another whole set of them, although not every brush I need a double of, so I'm kind of hoping that they will be sold as individual brushes somewhere down the line, which would be amazing, but we'll see. Now on the outer corner with that same brush, I am going in with the shade Spider, and I want to really deepen up the outer corner. You see how precise you can be with this? I mean, that's another thing. I used to go way down too far on the outer part of the eye, and so I had to always clean it up. Usually I would then do my eyes first, mostly for that reason, to be honest with you, but now I kind of don't have to because I know exactly where I'm putting the shade. Okay, so I've cleaned this brush off a little bit, and now I'm just going to drag this color into the crease, connecting the two colors just slightly, and then I'm going to diffuse this part with like tiny circular motions. Here is that so far. Now we are going to start off with the shimmer shades. And for packing on the shimmer shades, I use the A505 brush, which is just a flat, like, what do you call them, like a packing brush. And I'm going to start off with my favorite shade in the whole palette, I feel like. And I'm going to start off dry, and then we'll see how it goes. But it's the shade Fire Butts, which is so cute. And I'm going to put that right in the middle of the lid. Isn't that shade absolutely gorgeous? I love it. Love this shade. Now I'm going to use that previous brush and those shades that I used on the inner and outer corners just to go over and blend the edge of that shimmer shade. And now back on the A505 brush, I'm taking the shade BB, which is like this shimmery goldish yellowish shade, and I'm just popping it right in the middle of that green shimmer shade just to add a little bit extra highlight in the middle. Using these shades is definitely one of my favorite looks to use with this palette. I mean, I love it. Now I'm going to pretty much repeat what I did on top and do the same on the lower lid. And this is where I do bring another brush, and it's the Colourpop E20 brush, which looks like this. This brush is just so tiny, so it's really good to, you know, use to create just a thin. It's not the thinnest, don't get me wrong. Listen, I just like this brush on my lower lid, okay? So I took Death Moth, and I'm going to put that in the inner part. Now the shade Spider. I cleaned it off a little bit so that I can really blend this color out. Now with Fire Butts and BB in the middle. Now for the shade that I use in the inner corner, and the brush that I use in the inner corner. This one is also from Colourpop, and it is the L1 brush. This is the tiniest brush that I own, and it's perfect for the inner corner, I find. And my inner corner shade is called Web, and this just like brightens it up, and it is just like the best inner corner shade. That is it for this first eye. I'm going to go ahead and put mascara on, and I'll show you what it looks like all finished. Alright, so here is look number 1, all done with mascara on and everything, and I love it. I absolutely love it. This is definitely one of my favorite looks. I don't know yet what I will do on eye number 2, but let's get started. So I'm thinking of making this look a lot more pinky purpley. We'll see what that turns out to be. And I'm gonna go with Jewel Bee. And again on the A502 brush, putting that in the crease. I feel like in my particular case, because the brush handles are so long, if I hold it right at the end, I can just see so much better what I'm doing on my eye, and it's just so much more comfortable. So as I was putting this first shade on, I decided that this look is also going to be a halo eye, just in different colors, because I actually have to leave the house today. So maybe let's try to make this somewhat cohesive and not make me look like I'm insane. So I'm taking Bugaboo on the A504 brush, and I'm going to put that in the inner and the outer parts of the eyelid. Okay, now after cleaning off the brush, I'm gonna try to connect the two shades, or actually the two parts of the same shade, to kind of create a crease, and then blend it upwards a little bit. And I have tried to keep this part of the eye just slightly lighter than the outer part. I might deepen the outer part a little bit more, because I love the way halo eyes look. I just don't love having such an incredibly deep inner part of my eyelid. So I'm going to add a little bit more of that color Bugaboo on the outer corner. I'm going to go ahead and use that same shade on the E20 Colourpop brush on the lower lid, and again on the outer and the inner parts of it. Now with the flat A505 brush and the shade Meadowhawk, and I'm going to pop that in the middle of the lid. And I do want to point out that the first time when I use them dry, the first time I put the shade on, it seems like it's not really there much. But then when I go in like the second or the third layer, that's when it really pops up. And I'm going to put that same shade on the Colourpop brush in the middle. of the lower lash, not the lash line, it's the lower lid. And now I was thinking of putting the shade Marvel in the middle, but I'm gonna go in with Web and see how that brightens up the middle of the lid to kind of like create this spotlight effect. And I think that did the trick, so I'm going to do the same on the bottom. And of course I'm gonna use Web for the inner corner. Alright, let me put some mascara on and I will be right back. Okay, so here is the look number 2. And again, I mean, I feel like any look I do with this eyeshadow palette is just turning out absolutely fabulous. I love this and I'm so glad that I ended up picking this up. I also loved the brushes. I mean, the brushes from BK Beauty and Angie, Hot and Flashy, are absolutely my favorite brushes of all time. Out of all the ones that I have used so far, I definitely do want duplicates of some of them. Every brush in this brush set is amazing. This is amazing. The One Size powder foundation, so far so good. The Makeup by Mario lipstick, amazing. The Tower 28 lip gloss, amazing. The blush from Milani, I mean, I love it all. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified every time I upload. And I will see you guys again very soon. Bye.